Hello, welcome to BackToCoding. Today we'll be talking about what are intent filters in Android. This video is in continuation of the previous part, which you can find in the description below, so I highly recommend you to check it first and then come back to this video again. The intent filter tells Android which activities can handle which actions. When Android is given an intent, it has to figure out which activity or activities are able to handle it. This process is known as intent resolution. When you use an explicit intent, intent resolution is straightforward. The intent explicitly says which component the intent is directed at, so Android has clear instructions about what to do. As an example, the following code explicitly tells Android to start second activity. When you use an implicit intent, Android uses the information in the intent to figure out which components are able to receive it. It does this by checking the intent filters in every app's copy of Android manifest.xml. The intent filter specifies what types of intents each component can receive. As an example, here's the entry for an activity that can handle an action of action send. The activity is able to accept data with MIME types of text/plain or image. The intent filter also specifies a category. The category supplies extra information about the activity, such as whether it can be started by a web browser or if it's the main entry point of the app. An intent filter must include a category of android.intent.category.default if it's to receive implicit intents. If an activity has no intent filter or it doesn't include a category name of android.intent.category.default, it means that the activity can't be started with an implicit intent. It can only be started with an explicit intent using the fully qualified component name. How Android uses the intent filter. When you use an implicit intent, Android compares the information given in the intent with the information given in the intent filters specified in every app's Android manifest.xml file. Android first considers intent filters that include a category of android.intent.category.default. Intent filters without this category will be omitted as they can't receive implicit intents. Android then matches intents to intent filters by comparing the action and MIME type contained in the intent with those of the intent filters. As an example, if an intent specifies an action of intent.actionSend using intent is equal to new intent.actionSend, Android will only consider activities that specify an intent filter with an action of android.intent.action.send like this. Similarly, if the intent MIME type is set to text/plain using intent.setType text/plain, Android will only consider activities that can accommodate this type of data. If the MIME type is left out of the intent, Android tries to infer the type based on the data the intent contains. Once Android has finished comparing the intent to the component intent filters, it sees how many matches it finds. If Android finds a single match, Android starts the component, in our case the activity, and passes it the intent. If it finds multiple matches, it asks the user to pick one. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, which really motivates me to make such useful content for you. Also, don't forget to check my other videos, which can be helpful to you.